This week's video is going to be just us sitting down in front of the camera talking again. So hopefully you've enjoyed the past 2 weeks where we have talked about travel and travel destinations and things like that. I think people like to assume things. People like to assume that just because you've talked about traveling and stuff like that, that you have big travel plans. And I think I have given a lot of people the wrong end of the stick because people just assume that Kevin and I are planning some elaborate vacation because of those 2 videos. That could not be further from the truth. We do have something planned. I will not tell you when it is planned for because that's just, I don't do that.
We'll let you know when it's over.
We'll let you know when it's over. However, I will say that if you are a Patreon member or you are a YouTube member, those people will get pictures
and videos.
Pictures. They'll know when it's happening because I'm going to send them pictures in real time. Like, this is where we're at now. This is what we're doing now. And of course, I don't want anybody to think you're being punished by not being a member because you're not. You'll get to see everything. I'm going to vlog the whole experience. I'm going to vlog everything and it will end up on YouTube. They're just going to get a sneak peek. They're going to get, like, in real time things that we're doing, or maybe at the end of the day what we've done. Whereas you all, just regular people watching on YouTube, you'll just have to wait for it. So it's okay. You'll still end up getting it. But I don't tell when we're going, and I don't tell where we're going. And let me just say, Ashley will not be going with us on this.
We asked. She wasn't interested.
Yes, we did ask. We did ask. And yeah, she was not interested. And I do want to say, you really need to curb your expectations. Because this is a place that very, very, very few of you are going to be interested in at all. That's maybe. I just think
maybe you might all be interested.
You might all be interested in it. You might just I hope you'll enjoy watching the videos. You know, I don't know, it hasn't happened yet. We'll see. But I think you really need to curb your expectations because it's not
It's not like we're going to Hawaii or
No, it's nothing.
Italy or anything like that.
No,
we're not going anything like that.
No, it's nothing like that. So,
but don't downplay it too much. It's going to be fun.
Oh, I think we're going to have a good time.
Yeah, and I think you'll enjoy watching.
And it's going to be something very different from anything we've ever brought you before. So just know that. Kevin has something, and I have no idea. You know, I like to be in control.
Always.
I like to be in control. I like to know what's going to happen at all times. For me, the fear of the unknown is, I do not like the unknown. And so normally when
she's always bringing stuff on me.
Yes, always. Yes. And when we're in the car, I'm always asking him off the wall things and all this.
My thing is not questions.
Okay. So Kevin has brought something and I have no idea. So I'm going to find out.
This is just, you can comment on it.
Okay.
And you can just enjoy the craziness of it.
Okay.
I heard this on the radio. So just like the vacation, don't assume because we talked about vacation, this is going to happen. Just because you're hearing about it on the channel doesn't mean this is going to happen. This is from have you ever heard of Ashley Madison website?
Oh yeah. It's for cheating.
It's for cheaters. So that's what I'm saying. Just because I'm talking about it doesn't mean I'm looking for it. I heard it on the radio. Okay?
Trust me, Kevin's not looking.
No, I heard it on the radio and it was interesting, the mindset of these people. Okay. So
of the people at Ashley Madison?
Ashley Madison, the members.
Okay.
So basically this is a website to help people cheat on their spouses. Yeah. That's what it is.
It's exactly
their actual tagline on their website is "Life is short, have an affair." And that's their whole goal. Okay. So what they did was they surveyed all their members and they had 20 categories. I don't have all of them, but they had 20 categories. And it's members were asked what they would never cheat on, basically. So let me read the first one.
Yeah, I'll read the first one.
So 68% said that they would rather cheat on their partner than on their diet.
That's very interesting.
68%
said
they would rather cheat on their
And this
diet.
is all coming from...
their partner, then a diet.
This is all coming from men?
It's whoever members are on their site. So I'd say it's mostly men, but it could be women as well.
That surprises me, but because I think
it would be higher if it had been women, a bigger portion of women too.
I think women are, I would not put it past women to feel that way at all. No. Just because women want to stay on their diet and Well,
that was the lowest one, 68%.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, honestly.
82% said they would rather cheat on their partner. Again, cheat on their partner, wife or spouse, whatever, or husband, than on their gym or takeout restaurant or the person that cuts their hair.
That surprises me.
82% would rather cheat on their spouse than cheat on go to a different gym or a different restaurant or a different barber or hairstylist.
Right.
Isn't that surprising?
It is surprising because, I've gone to the same person to get my hair cut probably, I don't know, the past 3 years. But I don't go very often. Yeah. And before I met this person, I would just go to whoever. Yeah. I don't care.
I just thought it was surprising.
And then gym. Who cares what gym you go to? I don't know. That surprises me.
83% would rather cheat on their partner than on their phone provider or their shoe brand. The mindset of these people is crazy.
That is crazy.
85% would rather cheat on their spouse than change their regular coffee order.
Yeah, I'm not ordering coffee out. I'm not bougie like that. I'm not ordering expensive coffee anyway. That's stupid.
I know, it's crazy. 86% would rather cheat on their spouse or a partner instead of changing their political party.
Oh, well...
that is a fundamental belief, though, usually.
It is, but it's so funny because a political party... when Kevin and I first got married... we were both the same political party, and since we have been married so many years, we have completely we've changed. Everything's changed. Yeah,
we haven't flipped completely, but yeah,
everything has changed since we first got married. Some people in a marriage, that's what makes a good marriage. Is really you need to grow together, and we have grown together. We have evolved together into the people we are today. And so, when you first start out as basically kids, you're coming from everything you've learned from your parents, and you're going by their feelings. Really, you're going anything you were taught in your childhood. That's what you're taking with you the next person into this relationship. And then you get into this relationship, and you start living your own life, and you start having experiences and doing your own things, and that's when you really become who you are, who you're meant to be. And you can either one of you can change and leave the other one behind, or you can grow together, and we have completely molded and grown together. And so I think that's why we're so successful.
So 86% would rather cheat on their spouse than a political party. 87%, we're almost at 90% of the people that replied would rather cheat on their partner than on their taxes. Well, you could go to prison, I guess.
Oh, yeah. But, I wouldn't cheat on my partner, but I wouldn't want to cheat on my taxes either.
True.
That's a big deal.
This one's interesting. 89% would rather cheat on their partner than their real estate agent and their bank.
That's stupid. That's just
That's
just stupid.
Well, like I said, you're talking about people that have a completely different mindset.
These are people that are not my people.
This is the last one. 90% would rather cheat on their partner than a job application or a test, a personal trainer, or a sports team. Those are all 90%. They would rather cheat on their partner than support a different sports team.
I just think that's
craziness.
Ignorance, because trust me,
I thought those were interesting.
There's going to be plenty of other fans supporting your team if you were to root for some other team.
Yeah,
it's just these are
and the personal trainer and stuff. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway,
my people.
I thought that was just interesting to say.
That is interesting.
It's funny the things that they're willing to
I thought you were
cheat
done.
on. No, I'm not done. I got one more little thing.
Okay.
It's funny how the things people are willing to cheat on, but not cheat on.
Yeah.
You know? That's weird.
Yeah.
But on that same article, they also had asked their members, or they looked at their member counts from different cities. And I've got the top 10 cities where their biggest member groups are.
Okay, this will be interesting.
It's very interesting. I'll start at the bottom.
Okay.
Number 10 is Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So the 10th highest number of members is in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Buffalo is number 9.
New York. Okay.
St. Paul, Minnesota.
Yep.
Number 8.
It gets awfully cold in Minnesota.
I guess so. Minneapolis.
Minnesota.
Yeah. Here's a good one for you. Number 6, Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay.
That is. Tampa is number 5.
Florida. Okay.
Yeah. Las Vegas.
Nevada.
Not that surprising.
That surprise me
Is number
at all.
4. Atlanta is number 3.
Georgia. Okay.
Orlando is number 2.
Florida. Florida's number 2. Orlando.
Florida's number 2.
Okay.
And Miami is number 1.
Miami.
Florida had 3.
How much?
Florida had 3 different ones.
Wow.
Say Miami, Orlando, and Tampa all were in the top 10. So Florida is the state for affairs, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. They were talking about it on the radio, and it's like, I have to talk about this on a video because I just thought it was the mindset of cheaters. It's like they don't even think rationally.
Okay, so let's ask.
And clearly the therapist is not working. I think one of those was a therapist. I think that was at 90% as well.
We don't have therapists. Kevin and I don't have therapists.
Well, 90% of them are with therapists.
Have therapists, I guess.
And would rather cheat on their spouse.
Yeah, we don't have therapists. Okay, so let me ask you. You would rather cheat on me than what?
There's nothing I can think of. There's literally not one thing I can think of.
There's not one thing that would make you cheat on me.
No.
That you could have that would make you...
No.
Okay, what was that movie with Demi Moore?
Oh,
Where...
Indecent Proposal.
Indecent Proposal.
You know...
But you would have to up that money.
I was going to say, nowadays, that money means nothing. $1 million.
You would have to really up that money.
Yeah, think about back when that movie was out. I think it was $1 million.
I think it was $1 million.
And they bought this big house on the beach and stuff like that. It's like you couldn't even buy a shack on the beach for that much nowadays.
No, you couldn't. You absolutely could not.
Yeah.
You would have.
You wouldn't be set for life on $1 million.
And you know, it's funny.
We think we would be set for life on $1 million, but in reality, you wouldn't.
No. That movie, we saw that movie years and years ago, and it's funny because in that movie, is it Paul Newman? Mm-hmm. He's a really good-looking guy. So
no, Robert Redford.
Robert Redford. Okay, yeah. Well, either one of them are good-looking, honestly. Robert Redford. Okay,
the millionaire.
And Woody Harrelson is the husband. Mm-hmm. So it's been forever since we've seen it, but it of course. For $1 million, and at that time, she's willing to do this because he's a good-looking guy.
The husband actually told her to do it.
Yeah, we need the money, honey. You go.
Yeah, you do it.
Go, girl. Do
it's just for one night. Just do it.
But if you haven't seen it, it has some good talking points after. But these days, I can honestly think if I see somebody. That's like a troll, and I think, could I do that for this amount of money? No, most of the time it's going to be, no, I could not do that. It's going to take a really good looking, and you would have to be okay with it. And, you know, would that eat you alive? You know, that's the main takeaway from that. Is it worth the money in your whole relationship? Is it worth it? You know, so it's a good question. So anyway,
I thought that was interesting.
That is very interesting, and it's interesting to me that Ashley Madison is even still around.
They're popular.
Yeah,
I guess.
It's amazing to me that that's still around.
But now their name's out there because they came up with the survey, and all the radio stations were talking about it. It was a Newsweek article and everything.
I don't want to throw out a name, but I'm thinking one of the TLC big family people that went to jail is in jail now.
Yes,
I'm thinking
got caught because
they had
a data leak from their website, and they released all kinds of people that were members of that site, and all kinds of people got in trouble for it.
Yeah,
does it begin with a D?
Yeah.
Yes, that was one.
Yeah.
They mentioned them on
JD,
the radio.
yeah.
They mentioned it on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is his wife seems like a nice person.
There was oh no, it was completely different. I'm sorry. There was a local radio TV host celebrity, news celebrity that got caught, but he got caught because they busted the building, and he was
that was a
there.
Prostitute.
Yeah, and he was in the building, got busted. But anyway, completely different.
Okay,
anyway.
so now
on to normal stuff.
Well, this isn't normal. This is I found a list of questions, and these are questions that are really good. Like if you're going out on a first date with someone, or you're just trying to get to know someone, these are good things that you can talk about on a date.
Yeah, don't grill them. That'll probably turn them off.
You don't want to grill them, but you can ease these things into the conversation.
Yeah, so what do you think about whatever?
Exactly.
What's your favorite?
I figured it would be fun for Kevin and I to answer some of these. And if you all feel like leaving comments below, you can leave your comments below. If anything, like if you want to highlight a certain thing we discuss here, then you can. So the first question is very straightforward. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
That's hard though.
I know. There's so many these days. It used to when we were kids,
Fancy
it was a lot easier.
It's a lot fancier nowadays.
Yes.
That's really hard. Which would I just go to the store and buy all the time and feel safe? Price, I hate to say this, vanilla. But honestly,
there's nothing wrong with that.
No, but I would really rather have something vanilla with some kind of chocolate swirl or a peanut butter swirl or something like that. So peanut butter cups. I like peanut butter in ice cream too, though.
As much as I love peanut butter, I would take anything with peanut butter. I would probably say rum raisin.
Yeah, those are good. I don't like the raisins sometimes, though.
Haagen-Dazs has a really good rum raisin.
I would get some kind of vanilla or some kind of basic vanilla with something in it. Cherries or, something like that. Okay,
this says the first car I drove. Well, I'm not literally taking it as the first car you drove, because I drove
your parents' car.
Your parents' car, yeah. The first car I owned was a little Chevette. It was an 80.
Was that the one that looked like it caught on fire?
No, it was red. It was actually really. You weren't around at that time. It was actually a cute little. It was like an 83 Chevette or something like that.
Mine was a 69 Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah.
Super Beetle.
Loud.
I had big tires on it, jacked up in the back.
How embarrassing is the...
It wasn't in the 80s. It was cool in the 80s.
I would have been right in there with you, I'm sure.
Loud.
This is a hard one. My favorite movie.
That is hard.
Because there's so many. I could pick out favorite movies in each genre. Like favorite Christmas movie, favorite Halloween movie, favorite,
you don't have a horror movie.
Sappy movie.
Which movie would I say? It's a whole series though for me. It's not a whole.
That's okay, because I was going to say Lord of the Rings.
I would say Lord of the Rings. If I had to pick a series, it would be Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Individual movie though, I still love Young Frankenstein. It's like, I've always loved that movie. It's so goofy.
It is goofy. And you haven't watched that in years.
I haven't watched it in years. There's so many that are good. But Lord of the Rings is one I would go watch again and again.
Yeah. Anytime, yeah. What's your favorite food?
I like a good steak with potatoes.
Yeah.
Baked potato and a steak.
Yeah. I'm going to say just pizza. I mean,
pizza's good too.
I don't know that. It probably is my favorite food.
Like if you had your last meal on death row, that's what you would pick as a pizza? Give me a big, huge 16-inch pizza.
I probably would.
Would you?
I probably would, yeah.
Fill you up.
I probably would, yeah.
I'd get a steak and potato.
And I would eat it until I was just ready to pop.
Well, if you're on death row,
Yeah,
you're going to die anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not worried about your weight.
Somebody else can clean that up off the table.
That's right.
My childhood nickname was...
I didn't have a nickname.
Tammy.
Yeah.
I mean, my real name is Tamara. No one has ever called me Tamara. No one calls me that. If you called me that, I wouldn't answer to that. I mean, it's always been Tammy.
No, I didn't have a nickname as a kid.
I met
have one now.
I met my best friend when I was, and I'm assuming this is going to be your best friend in your childhood.
Yeah. It was when I was an infant at church. That was one of my best friends.
Okay, and I met mine playing right outside this house.
Yeah.
Because she lived down the street.
But that was later. You were older.
I was in 3rd grade. We didn't move into this house until third grade. Yeah.
I was like literally, we were raised in the cribs together at church.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. My first concert was.
I first paid, like we went, me by myself to a concert was Billy Idol with my cousin.
And I think mine was Chicago and the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
They were together. That's the one I remember anyway.
Did you go by yourself or with your band?
No, Jennifer.
Okay.
It was me and Jennifer.
Oh. Okay. That's her sister.
Yeah. My celebrity crush is.
I don't really have one, honestly.
You don't have a woman that you just really like to watch?
Well, you know, I used to love...
You love watching Elizabeth Olsen, don't you?
Yeah.
Not as much as me?
No. I used to like Sandra Bullock a lot.
Yeah.
But as I've gotten older, you know, you pick younger people.
You pervert. Well. See, mine's my age. Mine's Paul Hollywood. He's my age.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see Paul Hollywood.
So what pervy thing are you gonna say?
No, not really young. I'm not saying they're like 19 or something. I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
See, I think like Kate Winslet. I think she is beautiful, very, very attractive.
Yeah. No.
No. Huh.
I'm thinking I'm trying to think like people we've seen recently, like the girl that plays in the Mayfair Witches, the one with the really blue eyes.
Oh yeah, she is young, Kevin.
She's not that damn young.
She's young for you.
That's what I'm saying. Old they're fart. Young. They're young, but they're not. You know, no, like
she is beautiful.
19 or so.
She's the one that played in
White Orchid.
The White Orchid, yeah. The first White Orchid.
But that still wouldn't be somebody I would pick. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I just don't know.
My childhood celebrity crush was.
God knows.
Mine was Tom Selleck.
I'm trying to think when I was a kid.
Tom Selleck.
I mean, you're talking about Farrah Fawcett days and you know, Charlie's Angels and all that stuff. Be somebody like that. I don't know.
Are you going to say Farrah Fawcett?
I will, but I don't think that was.
You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember specifically.
My favorite hobby is.
Lord, I got so many hobbies. Which one I do all the time? I really do like. I like paper craft, like the 3D, like cutting and gluing stuff. I like to do that. But my favorite hobby, I guess, is like playing on computer games. Is that a hobby?
Yeah.
Computer games.
Do you consider watching TV a hobby?
It could be. Yeah.
You think so?
You're doing it to relax and to spend time, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just asking.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's...
I mean, most people think of like puzzles or crafty stuff and things like that.
Something that you're doing with your hands.
Would reading be a hobby?
I consider it a hobby, yeah.
So then I would think TV would be a hobby.
Right. My favorite hobby...
I would think me being on just playing computer games and stuff would be mine.
I don't know. I like to read. I like to watch TV.
Yeah.
I don't like to do much else. I do. I like to walk a lot, but I know that's not a hobby.
Exercising can be a hobby, maybe.
Well, then I would say that. I would say walking. I love to walk. So that would be, right now, that's my hobby. If you consider that a hobby. In my free time, I like to say that's your hobby.
Basically the same thing.
Basically the same thing.
Play computer games, read.
My favorite season.
Probably fall, because it's not.
I'm gonna say fall.
It's not super hot, but it hasn't gotten cold yet. Spring around here, at least, doesn't last long enough.
I don't think it does either.
Because our spring in Kentucky is like, it's cold one day and it's hot the next day, and then it's cold and then it's hot, and it's cold and then it's hot. It's really not a slow transition. Whereas fall is kind of a slow transition.
I think so
It's
too.
kind of short, but at least it's a transition.
For me, the perfect day starts with blank and ends with blank. I'm going to say the perfect day starts with a cup of coffee and ends with a YouTube video. I like laying in bed and watching a YouTube video.
Yeah, see, I read at night.
Yeah.
It ends with a book.
Yeah.
What would it start with? I can live without the coffee, though.
I live without the coffee when we're on vacation, but then I would switch it to, if I'm on vacation, it would start with a really good meal.
That's true. A good breakfast.
Yeah, a good breakfast.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
But mine ends with a book.
A book. My teenage years were blank.
Happy?
I'm going to say wasted.
I enjoyed my teenage years.
Did you?
Yeah, I mean, you get the bullies and the
I think mine were wasted.
Feeling of self-worth and all that stuff, but you get through that stuff.
The first time I went to see a comedy show was blank.
On the cruise, when we were at the cruise.
You know,
that's the first time I've actually attended a comedy
Me too,
show.
and that was last year.
Yeah,
that was last year we went on the cruise. I've never seen a comedy show.
Not a lot. Now we've seen them on TV.
On TV,
but we've never been.
But going to see a comedy show, that was the first time
we
ever.
Enjoyed it too.
And I rolled. It was awesome. I absolutely.
They have a comedy. Bar in Lexington we could go to, but we just don't.
But the cruise, it was included in the price.
Yeah, you just go.
Yeah,
watch the show.
And it was
actually
so
we went
awesome.
to two of them.
Yeah, but the first one I liked better. The
one
bar,
that was in the actual bar. Then they had one that was in like a big auditorium area,
and that was good.
It was good, but it wasn't.
But the one in the bar was funnier. For work, my parents. So what did your parents do?
My mom worked in a factory for GE, for General Electric, making headlights. And Dad was pest
And how
control.
long did she work there? She retired from there.
Yeah, she retired from there. She worked for Parker Seals, and they shut down here and moved to Mexico. And then she worked for GE pretty much the entire time I was growing up. Mm-hmm. And then Dad always worked in pest control. I've never known him to do anything different.
His whole life he did that.
As far as I mean, I don't know what he did when he was young,
right?
But he came from the military. He was in the Navy. I think he came out of the Navy and went straight into working for pest control, and he did it his whole life. Yeah.
My mom worked at the employment office. And,
is that the only place she ever worked, as far as you knew?
No.
She worked for state government.
She worked at that hospital where your all school is located on the grounds. Eastern State Hospital.
But it was
she
still
worked in the office.
Stuff.
Yeah, it was office work. She's always done office work. Yeah. So it was, there used to be a hospital called Eastern State Hospital in Lexington, and she worked there in the office.
It was a mental hospital.
Yeah, and then she worked at the employment office, and my dad was a police officer. So retired.
He's always been a police officer since he was out of the military, basically.
Yeah, well, he worked at the prison in
yeah.
Lexington,
yeah.
and then he
got
a job as a police officer. Yeah. I have blank pairs of twins in my family. My sister has fraternal twins. Does that
that's
count?
what that means.
Okay, so my sister had fraternal twins.
My cousins were twins.
Oh, yeah.
So my mom's brother, my uncle, had twins.
Yeah,
that's the only twins I know of.
Yeah, I don't know of it anymore.
Yeah, twins isn't a big thing in our family, or your family.
My favorite alcoholic drink is?
Just probably bourbon.
I would say rum for me.
Rum?
Yeah.
I like rum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Depends on what it's mixed with.
My favorite podcast is?
I don't listen to podcasts, so I don't know.
Right now,
I guess if I had to say, it would be there's a video podcast on Twitch that I watch that has three guys on it. But I can't remember what it's called. But it's they only do it once a week. But yeah.
Yeah, well, that would be it.
It's kind of like
can't think of the name of it though. No. It's on Twitch.
Yeah, I can't remember. Co-Carnage does it. I can't remember who.
My favorite. I'm listening to Bob and Sherry. I like listening to Bob and Sherry. The podcast. So
you've listened to a bunch of podcasts though, murder mysteries.
I have
all kinds of TV show recaps and all kinds of stuff.
Yes, I have. But Bob and Sherry
is the regular.
I like them. Yeah. The best dish I can cook.
Is a dish like just steak and corn and potatoes? Would that be a dish?
Let's say the best meal. And we'll change it.
Yeah, because mine would be like
steak.
I think I do a good steak and potatoes and corn.
I'm gonna say like chicken parmesan or something like that for me.
That's good.
I can make anything, but I'll say
give me a
chicken
recipe.
parmesan.
I can pretty much make.
Yeah,
anything.
I can. Yeah, I'm not afraid of anything really.
No.
I was named after.
Nobody. I don't know.
Your mom just liked the name Kevin.
Yeah, that was a popular name in the
He was named after the bird in
late 69s.
I'm kidding.
In the late 60s, Kevin was very popular. So,
Yeah.
so Kevin was a lot of people in my schools were named Kevin.
I was named after Tammy in the Tammy movies. They're old movies. I think maybe Doris Day or somebody did those. Anyway, I was named after from Tammy in those Tammy movies.
And that's all.
Yeah. My favorite vegetable is?
Wow. Favorite vegetable?
Yeah. I'm going to say green beans.
Is candy a vegetable? Is chocolate a vegetable?
I like green beans.
You know, I like green beans too.
You like corn?
I like corn. Probably corn would be my favorite.
You like mashed potatoes?
It's potatoes.
Potatoes is a vegetable?
No, I would pick,
it grows out of the ground.
I would pick corn over potatoes, really.
Okay. Growing up, I moved blank times.
0.
Kevin's family, when they were, the house was built, they bought their house.
But after it was built.
After it was built, and they still live there. They've never moved.
To this day?
So, it depends on how technical you want.
Like literally 50,
yeah,
almost 60 years they've lived there.
My parents, when I was born, they lived in an apartment. And they moved from that apartment to, as far as what I remember, okay? So, just my memory. They moved from an apartment to a house. They moved from that house to an apartment in Winchester. And
so
from that, yes, so from that apartment in Winchester to this house.
That's 3.
So that's 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was growing up.
Right. And they lived here for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, you said, what, 3rd grade?
3rd grade, yeah. One food I've always been hesitant to try.
Well, I did finally, was lobster. Mm-hmm. I didn't know if I would like it or not, and I tried it, didn't like it. But that was one I was hesitant to
I know
try.
something that I think we both have not tried to this day. We've never tried it. Sushi.
Yeah,
We've never tried it.
The traditional sushi is raw, but I looked it up. You can get cooked, like meats.
Yeah.
If I got cooked meats in sushi, I think I'd be okay, because it's just rice and meat. I mean, I could eat that. I wouldn't want raw fish.
Yeah, I'm not. And don't they wrap it in seaweed?
Some is.
See,
not
I don't
all
like
of it. Not
seaweed.
all of it's wrapped in seaweed.
Yeah, I just don't think. I don't think I would like it.
Some
I
of
really
it's
don't
just
think I would
literally
like
rice squished together, compressed together.
But if you're gonna try
with
something,
a
should
rice
you try the
vinegar.
authentic version?
It just depends on
if you
what
can?
kind of sushi.
Yeah.
It's a different type of sushi.
Yeah, that's something.
I'm not a sushi eater, but you know, if I were to eat it, I would try to do it in a restaurant, not a Kroger.
I would try to do.
Don't go buy Kroger sushi.
Well, I would try to, if somebody ordered it.
And you would try it.
I would try it off their plate if they offered, before I would order it myself.
But I think you're like me. You wouldn't want it raw either.
No. Okay. The first record I ever owned.
Well, I don't remember.
The question was actually the first CD, and I couldn't tell you the first CD, but I could tell you the first 45 was Culture Club, I'll Tumble For You. I've said this before in videos.
Yeah, see, I owned a few records when I was really young. I mean, you're talking about the Eagles and stuff in the 70s. Really, I remember more of my first cassette tapes, and I'm thinking that was John Cougar Mellencamp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was like the first tape I had. And then, of course, you get the Columbia tape, the groups, and you got like 5,000 tapes after that.
BMG or something.
BMG, all
Music
those.
group,
That you spend a penny and you get 25 tapes. It's like literally.
Yeah.
So you had tons of tapes after that. I don't know what my first CD would have been. Probably Michael Jackson or somebody. That was about that time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My most irrational fear. Mine is heights.
Mine's falling from height. I don't mind being at a height where I'm secured. I know I can't fall. But being at a height where I may fall, I don't like. That's my fear.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, is that irrational? I mean, you could fall from a height.
I know. My earliest memory is. I said when I was born, we lived in an apartment, and then we moved to a house. I have memories from that house. And so you're talking when I was in kindergarten is really my first memories, is probably kindergarten.
See, I don't have really strong memories of anything in my childhood, I remember just vague things, like things that happened at school when I was in elementary school, or I remember getting in trouble at elementary school one time.
For what?
For me and my friend were playing around and goofing off, and they thought we were fighting, so we both had to go to the principal's office, and we both got in trouble. And it's like, we weren't fighting, we were just playing around, we were kids. That's when you could get paddled at school.
Yeah, they used to have paddles.
They used to have
Yeah.
Our music teacher was the paddler, and he had like a little miniature oar, and the miniature oar had tape wrapped around it like 5,000 times, so it was like that thick, and yeah, you didn't want to get paddled by that. But yeah, that's the kind of memories I have, just vague little things. As far as home though, I don't remember. I remember going to Kings Island with the church and stuff.
Yeah, but you would have been older then.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't have really memories of really young.
I love photography because
it captures a moment.
It's memories. Yeah, it's memories. That's
and you wish your parents had done more of it.
Yes. With like, don't just take a picture of me, but like the background.
Yeah.
Like
I
like seeing some of my favorite pictures that I have are just. My mom hated them when you would just take a picture and she wasn't ready to pose. But I like those because you see how they were in their everyday life, and you see just what's going on at the time.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite moments. And, so many people nowadays want to be perfectly posed, or, selfies. But I like real pictures of what's going on in the moment because it's real. Yeah. It's real is what it is.
My dad always said, I like to just snap pictures of people just doing whatever they're doing. And it's like, you never took but 10 pictures in your entire life. Give me a break. You might like those, but it'd be nice if you'd actually taken them.
If you'd actually taken them, yeah. The person I look up to most is?
Nowadays, probably you, honestly.
You look up to me?
Yeah, because I think you work really hard at doing like YouTube, and you're very opinionated and
is that
bossy,
a good thing?
And
is that a good thing?
Tell me what to do, and I
look up to me.
I have to do it, or I get in trouble. No, I think Tammy's just a wonderful person that does. She works really hard.
Oh, well, I was going to say you. Thank you. I was going to say you.
See,
yeah, I look up to Kevin, but it's because Kevin can learn to do anything. Kevin is so intelligent, but you can be intelligent, but you can lack patience. And so Kevin is just a very well-rounded person to where he's very patient, but he's also willing to learn. And so he did something just last week for Ashley that he had never done in his life. He fixed a major appliance, and he had never fixed looked at one of these appliances before, and he literally looked at it, diagnosed it, ordered the part, got the part in, fixed it. It's working perfectly now. Saved her probably $400 from calling a repair person. Now, that's a fact, and that happens over and over and over with Kevin, and it's worth respect right there. So that
but if I didn't have Tammy to pick from, I'd have a harder choice. I don't know. I don't know who I'd pick if it wasn't for Tammy.
So one of the items on my bucket list is. Silence.
Well, I don't really have anything that I'm like, I have to go do this before I die. I'm just not that kind of person. I just don't have that personality.
Right.
I know you have things you would like to do before you die. Me, I just don't. I'm just kind of a go with the flow every day. Whatever Tammy wants to do, okay, we'll go do that. It sounds like fun, and we go do it. It's
right.
I'm not one to say, oh, we have to go here before.
And you know what? You would think that me having that kind of personality, that I would definitely have a written bucket list. And some of you have commented on, like when we did the travel videos the past 2 weeks, you said it's really great if you'll put it down in writing, which I can totally understand that. That it's great if you put things you would like to see, places you'd like to visit, put it down, and that way you can cross it off, and it really does narrow you towards those goals.
See, I don't have any.
You would think I would. There are places that I would love to visit, but I'm not saying I have to.
Right.
I don't have to. If I never get to, then I don't ever get to.
Yeah. And I don't have the, jump out of a plane or bungee cord.
Absolutely not.
I don't have anything like that.
Absolutely not. Like riding a hot air balloon. No, I want to look at them,
It'd be cool to see one.
But I don't ever want to go in one. There's just, I don't have that kind of a list either. Yeah. I would say as a general, travel more.
Yeah.
But I'm always going to want to travel. If I could spend the rest of my life blank, I would. I would say traveling. That would be my word. If I could spend the rest of my life traveling, if I could afford it, I would travel all the time.
I definitely do not want to do that. Yeah.
I enjoy it thoroughly.
I don't know. I think if I could live the rest of my life settled, I think I would be happy. And that doesn't mean stationary. I just mean settled in a lifestyle that is comfortable and makes us both happy.
Do you not think you're settled now?
I'm pretty settled now, but when you're working and stuff, it's kind of hard to be like settled in for the rest of your life, because you've always got that work always there.
Right.
Once you kind of retire, you can then at some point I'm kind of settled in.
Just
it's
brave.
like nest. You're gonna nest. This is where I'm gonna nest.
Right.
And whether I travel here or there while I'm nesting, that's fun. But I'm always got a place to kind of come back to.
Right.
I don't know. That's kind of that's the only thing I could think of.
Okay. I get stressed when. I'm going to say I'm on the interstate. Anytime I'm on the interstate, I get stressed.
Yeah.
That's
anytime I'm driving on the interstate and she's with me, I'm stressed.
Yeah, he's stressed because I'm stressed.
I don't get stressed a lot. At the beginning, again, it's kind of work related. At the beginning of the year, it's really stressful because a lot of stuff happens for our school year. Every semester, a lot happens all at one time. Mm-hmm. Like within like a 2-week period of time, a lot has to happen in those 2 weeks. So you get like your stress level goes really, really high for those 2 or 3 weeks. And then it kind of tapers down and it gets more.
I think for a lot of like elementary school teachers and stuff like that, I think they probably experience that same level of stress towards the testing season, towards the end of the year.
Probably the beginning of the year, and then it peaks again at testing.
And testing, because they want their students to score the best.
They're judged on it.
Yes, you're judged on your
how well your
kids. You have no control over how are they going to get a good night's sleep. Are they going to eat good? You have no control over that as a teacher, but yet you're going to be judged over it. It's really not right. Something I want to be remembered for is
at work, I want them to remember that that I was the person that would always reply back to their emails and any communication like as fast as possible. I'm known as the person that I've had people say that I don't know how you get back to me so fast.
Yes.
I want to be known that the person that solves your problem as fast as I possibly can do it.
Yes.
Within like 2 minutes, literally.
And some people say that you they'll say when somebody texts you, you should not respond to their text immediately because it gets them used to, they expect you to be there on a dime. Yeah. And then when you can't be there, well, what's wrong with you? What's happened? And, but that's the way Kevin is. Kevin is always...
well, I'm working. I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm there. But what was yours?
I want to be remembered for being happy and enjoying life and
life.
Giving. Yeah. Just having a giving spirit and loving people and loving everybody and making people feel a part of everything,
I mean, I want to be remembered overall as just being a positive, kind, happy person.
Right.
That's because that's what I kind of am. So.
Yeah. I once wrote a story about...
Oh, Lord, I've never written a story, Molly.
I've written stories about Guido. Or Pug.
Yeah.
Like, I would like to have done children's books and stuff like that, but...
that's a process.
So you've never...
Not really. I mean, I've never really written stories about anything. Not really.
Something I used to do...
Wrote a couple poems to Amy, that was it.
Oh, but they were good. They were good. I still have them. They were really good poems. Something I used to do every day that I could probably live without.
Wearing a shirt and tie every day to work.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a
Because I used to have to wear dress shirt, dress pants, a tie.
Did, yeah.
Every day.
That was when he was working on computers, and he would go in like the state offices and stuff like that.
Work on computers and stuff for people.
Yes.
No, never want to do that again. Or for that matter, going to work every day. I don't want to ever have to do that again.
Yeah, something that I used to do every day.
I could think of something. Well, you probably don't miss it though. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to
say it.
You.
No, say it.
Going and picking the kids up from school every day.
Oh.
Sitting in those lines and waiting and having Guido with you and.
Yeah, I didn't mind that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was probably something I wouldn't want to do every day, but you probably.
Yeah, I didn't mind. I did something that I used to do every day.
Cook dinner. We used to cook dinner every night.
I just if I had to cook dinner now and do dishes and all that every night, I'm
trying to think for her what something might be.
I know. I really don't have something that I used to do that.
Andrew's homework. We would help him with homework.
Oh, okay. There we go. That's actually a really, really good one, and that's the truth. When Andrew was in elementary school. He was in private school, which I would never do again. That personal choice, you do you, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. It has no effect on my life. But I would never, ever do that again if I were to go back. When he went to private school, they really focused on things in that private school that the public school... once we switched him over to public school, they don't care. They could care less about this stuff. And
well, it's not that they care less.
It wasn't that important.
No, it's not that they don't care about it. It was just it's equally as important.
They didn't put as much importance on. When he went to private school, he had to learn all these names in history, like all these people and the dates and all, it was absolutely ridiculous to learn all these names and dates and stuff like that. That means nothing now. And they put a lot of importance on that to where he would come home and we were studying for 2 to 3 hours every single night.
Because he'd have to memorize the
Because
stuff
he would have to memorize the stuff, which was absurd.
And there was a lot of reading too.
And then when he went to public school, we didn't have that issue at all. There was no problem. So I would say, yes, that's something that I
that nightly routine of homework.
Awful. It was absolutely horrible. Yeah. That's a good one. I am the blank child in my family.
Only.
And I am the oldest.
Yeah, and I'm the only.
See, my dream...
I'm actually the oldest. No, I'm not the oldest cousin either. No. Because how big a family you want to go. But,
right. Yeah. My dream home would be?
Just someplace me and Tammy are happy. It doesn't have to be big. Doesn't have to be a mansion.
When I read that question... because I looked through Kevin hasn't looked through these, but I looked through these. When I read that, I was thinking of like what house I would like to have and in my mind immediately goes to a movie.
Right.
And so my dream home would be this particular movie home. It was in Practical Magic, and I love the house in Practical Magic. So I was thinking my dream home would be that home.
Yeah, what house would you rather be?
But now you gave a very sweet answer.
I'm thinking just what I want my dream home in my future would be. Right. Someplace me and Tammy can settle down and be happy.
That's very sweet.
Because it sure as heck is not going to be a movie house because we can't afford it.
That's true. The worst injury I ever sustained.
Injury. I've had sprains and stuff. I've never broken anything, so yeah.
I haven't broken anything either, but I fell when I was in 2nd grade. I fell on my knee, and I got a rock in my knee, and I had to go to the ER and have it removed and have my knee stitched up.
That, or when we got in the car wreck and you were just bruised.
I forgot about the car wreck.
Like
my
shoulder
breast was
and
bruised.
the whole seatbelt area.
Where the seatbelt was, it went right over, so it was probably this breast. But yeah, it was black.
That's the only thing I could think of. That's probably the worst injury you've had.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. See,
I've had sprains and pulled muscles and stuff, but never like a really major injury.
My favorite time of day?
Probably in the late afternoon, like 3-ish.
I would say that, I would say the same, because by that time we're done with our work. Kevin's usually done with his work. I'm usually done with my work.
Yeah, sit and drink a cup of coffee.
Sit and drink a cup of coffee and know that you've got the night ahead of you and you don't have there's no expectations.
Yeah, except for my craziness that answers emails all night long. But besides that.
I used to volunteer for... I volunteered, my mom signed me up. My mom signed me up, well, 2 things. She signed me up at the public library years ago when I was younger. She was trying to get me involved in something. And then she signed me up, too, to be a candy striper at Humana Hospital.
Which I can't imagine.
And so I would, like, run errands and do stuff like that.
Deliver stuff to rooms and
She would drop me off, and I'd be there for, like, 3 or 4 hours, and then she'd pick me up.
I volunteered for work stuff, like the KET, PBS, whatever, the telephones.
That's volunteer work.
I did the telephones.
Yeah.
We've helped pack up food boxes and stuff. Me and you both have. At Thanksgiving time, we've done that kind of stuff, but
that's it.
Yeah, that's all I can think of.
If I were to win the lottery, I would.
Counts on how much you win. That's always a caveat. Counts on how much you win. If you win $100,000, well, you're not doing a whole lot. If I win $100,000, I'm probably just paying my bills off, and then I'd pay off as much of probably family members' bills as I could.
I have certain. That's what I'm saying. I would pay off us, but I have other people who I would help.
Yeah.
So there's definitely people that we would be helped, but there's definitely other people that I would help from it.
Now, if it's millions.
I would like to travel, of course.
If it's millions, then we can get to that point where we pay all of our bill. We help people pay, our family members pay off their bills, and then we could go buy a house that we could settle into. We could go where we want to settle.
It just depends on how much
and then just travel
get.
around and stuff.
Yeah.
And then if you get these crazy people that want like billions of the money lately, the lotteries have been crazy lately. You can pretty much do anything you want to.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, you can buy a couple houses and live all over the place. You
right.
know? You could have summer houses and winter houses, and
you could, but I wouldn't. I would rather.
It's a lot of work in it.
Well, I mean,
I'd rather have a central spot and travel from there.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. There's a lot of people you could help too.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of.
There's a lot of people.
A lot of things you could do. A lot of. You give to charities and pug rescues, and there's a lot of things like that out there that you could do too.
That's very true.
See, on average, I sleep about how many hours a night?
7.
But about 7 hours.
That's 7. Sometimes 6, but most of the time around 7.
My biggest guilty pleasure is, I'm going to say watching trash TV.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of trash TV. But I do just spend time on the computer, I guess. That'd be mine. Just get on the computer and just wasting hours farting around. Yeah.
I also have music that I listen to that I would never listen to in anyone else's presence except for Ashley. But yeah, that's probably a guilty pleasure too. My biggest pet peeve is, here lately, both of our biggest pet peeve has been the pickers at Walmart.
Oh, they're just so annoying.
Well, it's because...
But all restaurants, all grocery stores, but Walmart specifically.
Well, it's because they intentionally They don't want you to pass them. They're afraid for you to pass them because they're afraid you're going to get in front of them and hold them up. So they want to hold you up instead. They're like, I'm going to hold her up so she don't hold me up. They'll park that big square thing, the cart right in the center of the aisle, and then they're standing on one side or the other of it. So you've got the cart and then you've got their body. So you can't get by. And it's annoying. And then they avoid any eye contact.
And then when you're trying to just walk down an aisle, they're coming behind you trying to run you over because they got to get somewhere.
I'm telling you, I've had one come close to my heels. And if he ever got my heels, I would say something because there's no point, in getting up on people's heels like that.
But beyond that, yeah, I agree.
I have all kinds of pet peeves.
One of mine is like people chewing with their mouth open. That drives me crazy.
Passing gas. I hate passing gas. Hate passing gas. And we know somebody that passes gas as much as they breathe. And it's annoying. If they're breathing, ain't the pug because he's dead.
It ain't me either.
Huh?
It ain't me either.
No, the pug didn't have as much gas as this person. But I don't like that either. I've got all kinds of pet peeves.
Like little things. Yeah. Nothing with each other though, really. I don't think there's anything Tammy does that really just absolutely, I'm sure there is, I just can't think of anything right off.
No, you really don't do anything, that bothers me.
That she hasn't got used to.
Yeah, and I've had people comment on videos like about Kevin. They'll say something like during a review, like, he likes to wipe the crumbs or he likes to keep things clean or so. And I'm like, yeah, and what's your problem with it? Do you think that's a problem? I've got a clean husband. Who are you? What beast are you living with? No, I have no problem. We are both as anal and as funny about placement of things and where things should go. We are both equally funny about stuff like that. So, like,
I do have my piles, like on the mantle in the bedroom.
But it's very small.
I used to have bigger piles. When I was doing other kinds of work, I had bigger piles of papers and stuff like that. Nowadays, I don't have as much.
But Kevin and I are funny about things. Like, everything has a home. Everything has a place.
Yeah, when we use it, you put it back.
So we went over to Ashley's the other night. Perfect example. We went over to Ashley's the other night, and I looked, and she has this bar where she keeps stuff on. Sitting on this bar was a bottle of Worcestershire sauce. And I said, oh, the Worcestershire sauce is sitting on this bar. Would you like me to put it up in the cabinet where it belongs? And she said, oh no, I just leave it out there because I use it every single night. We don't care. It would go up in the cabinet.
We put it in the cabinet, we get it back out the next night.
We'd get it back out the next night, just like the salt and pepper. The salt and pepper goes in a particular spot in the cabinet.
It keeps things from being cluttered.
It keeps things from being cluttered, and we're both equally funny.
We are.
So anyway,
just like the coffee, coffee creamer and coffee sweetener, we get it out twice a day at least, but we're not leaving it on the counter.
I'm not going to leave it on the counter because that looks cluttery. Yeah. I'm going to put it behind the counter so everything's nice and neat.
Or in our cabinet.
Or in the cabinet. Yeah, I'm going to put it behind the doors so that it looks nice when you walk in the kitchen.
Some people would think that was a pet peeve, just us picking up stuff.
I tell you what, they would. She picks up behind me. I tell you what.
I think Ashley would say that was a pet peeve of her with her. When you're at her house.
Yeah, absolutely. That it probably drives her mad that I'm constantly picking up.
Yeah. She's even drying my dishes. She said that the other day.
She did say that? She said she's drying
she'd already washed them all.
I washed all the dishes.
And then she said, she's over there drying the dishes. Now she's going to put them up.
I didn't hear her say that. That's funny. No, I think what changed for me, because we, in our previous house, we did have things sitting out on the counter. Mm-hmm. What did it for me the most was when we moved into this house, we renovated the kitchen. Mm-hmm. We gutted it. We gutted it down to the studs and we built it back up. And you have brand new walls, you have brand new countertops, brand new everything, and you don't want to junk it up. You don't want to clutter it up. And it was just nice to have the space, to just look at the space and be like, Gosh, look how clean it looks.
When we moved in this house, period, we didn't have a lot of counter space either. So
Right.
we kept things picked up because we just didn't have the space until we remodeled.
Right.
Now we got plenty of space and we're just in the habit of putting things up.
I like the clean.
I
I
like
like
it
it to
clean, too.
look clean.
I do too.
So,
That's just like washing dishes when we get done with the day. I mean, I'm usually make sure I can do the dishes every night.
yeah, it's just...
And then I put them up the next morning when I'm making coffee.
Yeah. See... this is a hard question. At home, I have a lifetime supply of blank. A lifetime supply.
I got a big collection of batteries back there I bought from Amazon. You buy a batch of batteries from Amazon and it just lasts you
A
forever.
lifetime supply of Christmas ornaments. Coffee mugs. I've got a lifetime supply of coffee mugs.
That's probably true. If you break one, you got another one to back it up. That's
absolutely.
For sure.
That would definitely be true for me.
Yeah.
So
I'm thinking like literally I have a big batch of batteries back there. They'll probably go bad long before I use them all. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
Games to play, I could say that.
Games.
Because Steam will come out with a sale, or I'm very influenced by people playing on YouTube and Twitch. And it's like, ooh, that game looks really cool. And I'll buy it, and it's still sitting there. I haven't even ran it since I'm on it. You know,
Right.
and it may be 8 years old. So I've got a lifetime supply of games back there that I need to play. If I ever Twitch stream, I'll have plenty to go.
We are not going to get through this whole list because
do it another day.
Yeah. If you enjoyed this video, then let us know if you enjoyed us just sitting here talking. And I do have more pages, but I feel like this video is going to be long enough.
Over an hour.
Yeah,
long.
I feel like it's going to be long enough. So I'm just going to cut it right here. But if you would like to see us do this again, answer the rest of the questions, if you found this interesting at all, then let us know. Or if you have something, you know, like last week's video was a requested video. Us talking about the top places you need to visit before you die.
Yeah.
You know, that was a requested video. And I thought that was so much fun. So if you would like to request something like that, if you want us to talk about something.
Yeah. Doesn't mean we will.
It doesn't mean I will,
But you can definitely throw it out there.
Yeah, you could throw it out there and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we try not to do like really controversial topics because that's just not who we are. We don't want to do that kind of stuff. But,
right. Yeah, I don't want to.
We want fun stuff.
Listen, people will leave my channel for the dumbest reasons.
Oh, you get mad?
Yes, I haven't told Kevin the most recent reason.
Sometimes they're hilarious.
And when I read this comment, I was going to reply to it because that's in my nature is to...
Try to fix it?
No, I wasn't going to try to fix it.
Okay.
I was just...
answering it.
I was... The
last word.
The comment was so stupid and juvenile that I wanted to hit back with something just as juvenile.
Yeah,
so
it's more telling if you don't send me them.
I just deleted it.
Yeah.
I deleted their comment. So I had somebody tell me, you said that Little Debbie brownies were dry. I'm unsubscribing. Now, if that ain't the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, it's like through the comments, this is just the truth. A lot of them I can tell when it's somebody really young that's writing the comment. I told Kevin the other day, we've got a video on when Kevin bought this car we have. We have a Mazda. What year is it?
Like 15.
So I've got a video up when we bought our Mazda.
It's almost 10 years old.
And this person got on there and commented, your car's old. You need to get a new car. And I just typed back, when you're willing to buy me one, we'll get a new one. When you're going to pay for it, I'll get a new one.
Right.
And I'm thinking, it has to be a kid that's writing something
you
like
would
that.
think so.
You know, so a lot of these things I chalk it up to age. But
or just trolls.
But when it comes to like religion, politics, stuff like that, I have to stay away from it because a lot of people do care deeply about how you feel. And they don't want to know the truth because if they knew the truth, they would immediately leave. If you don't feel exactly the way they feel about things, they are not open enough to hang with you because of all the good things they like about you. So, you know, that's why we don't discuss stuff like that. But if you have anything you would like us to talk about, leave it below. If you have any questions, burning questions, leave them below. People have asked me before, have you ever thought about doing a Q&A? Yeah, I have, and I've said many times, ask us a question, but then they don't ask a question. So,
I need to create a form of some kind where they can just go.
So you need to ask the question to get us the answer. A lot of people want us to do like a live video. They want you to do a live video so they can catch you off guard and ask these really ludicrous questions. And so they're catching you off guard.
Then you ignore them and then they ask it like 10 more times.
Yeah, I'm not playing that game. So if you have a legit question to ask us, we're up for anything. Just ask it and we'll see if it gets answered. So as always, we greatly appreciate Patreon supporters, the YouTube supporters. I appreciate anybody who watches our videos.
Yeah, if you've subscribed, giving us thumbs up,
give us thumbs up. Yeah, we greatly appreciate the thumbs up. We don't get a lot of thumbs up. I would love to get more thumbs up.
Yeah. But it all helps with the YouTube algorithm.
It does.
YouTube program.
It does, and I don't ask for it every video like some people do. I try not to drive people crazy, but then when I don't ask, I don't get.
Right.
If you don't ask, you don't receive. So
That's right.
I would appreciate a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next week.